learning. He's getting better. Usually candidates regress when they get in the race. I think Ben Carson's actually learning. And then in comparison to Donald Trump, he looks like a moderate, sensible, you know,
the man who compared America to Nazi Germany under
that was
Barack
months
Obama.
ago, Joe.
He's grown.
That was months ago.
Look at Donald Trump, nice. That's what he is.
Look at look at this screen. In head-to-head matchups against Donald Trump. Donald Trump wins against everybody except Carson. He loses 55 to 36%. Let's read Matt's explanation. He writes this about Ben Carson's surge in the GOP race. Ben Carson's secret weapon, he's getting better with age.
Ben Carson is the rarest of political candidates. He actually learns from his mistakes. If and when Donald Trump stumbles or recedes, don't be surprised if Dr. Ben Carson gets his moment, or maybe more, in the spotlight. And when that moment comes, we will see if he really has learned his lesson and is prepared to seize the day. Could he become president? Everything I know about history and politics suggests he won't. But then again, the rules are in flux. If a poor boy from Detroit can grow up to become so famous that they make a TV movie about him, it's hard to count that man out.
And so, Matt, you look at the latest polls, almost 50% of Republicans, people in our party, are supporting two guys that have never been close to governing.
And if you throw in Carly Fiorina, you're really there.
You're over.
And if you throw in Ted Cruz, you're at over 60%. And combined, they've had 2.5 years of elected experience. So that's the way it's going right now.
What does that say about the Republican establishment in Washington, D.C.?
That they're hated. And that experience is not only is experience not a qualification, it's actually a detriment right now. And look, I think there's this thing called the Overton window, which basically says that if one person goes really far to the right, then someone else who's a conservative looks moderate in comparison. And I think that's where Ben Carson is. Donald Trump has made it like he's made Ben Carson a compromise candidate. The guy who's like,
if they want to defeat Trump, what they ought to do is somehow convince McConnell and Boehner to endorse him.
That might do it.
That might do it.
I don't think Donald would take it, though. So, April, what did you see in Ben Carson a month ago that the Republican voters are seeing in him now?
And you kind of poo-pooed it when I said it.
I still am. I really, again, I don't understand. A guy comes to prominence because he speaks ill of Obamacare in front of the president.
No, that's not why he came to prominence. Let's go back. Okay, I'm from Baltimore, and Johns Hopkins. He's this. Let's think about his life. He's this guy who, for all intents and purposes, should not be who he is today. You know, grew up in rough life in Detroit, urban area, in the hood, as we would say in Baltimore, and then he took this wonderful journey and became this brilliant surgeon who separated the Bender twins, one of the first brain separations of congenital twins that we've heard about. He was a hero, brilliant mind. And then you take this person, we never heard his politics, and some people said it was noise that they were hearing from him, and others said, oh, let me take a listen, because he is this brilliant man one way. Now, on another piece for Ben Carson, he is a minority. He is an African-American man, and I think that there are people in this country who are still well-meaning, feeling that this could be a different day. You know, we saw Barack Obama as the first African-American president, and remember Herman Cain. People wanted to believe in him the last time on the Republican side. So I believe he has that as well. And I also believe now that he is a person, at first when he started running, he threw out those bombs just like Donald Trump did, and then they brought you in by throwing out those bombs so you could listen to what he had to say. And he pulled people in that way. But I think that's what his attraction was. But I think now he's coming out as this semi-real person who has his flaws. And I remember us talking. You asked me, what do you think about Ben Carson? I said, I kind of like him, but he doesn't know geographically where things are. So, I mean, he's this real person with foibles, but I also think he is the alternative, a brilliant mind who's an alternative to Donald Trump.
I think he's changed. I really do. That wasn't just spin or I need to write a column. He has said that.
Well, but it worked.
It didn't hurt.
Fabulously. Yeah.
But He has said he's changed. He has said he's learned, and he is a soft-spoken guy. And I think in the debate, compared to Trump, who's throwing this red meat bombs, Ben Carson comes across as a really smart, nice, thoughtful, soft-spoken guy.
You know, Cook,
I never thought you would get back to me. I never thought you'd come back to me.
Well,
Yeah, but his life story is really that's what he's doing on the stump, is he's telling his life story, and it's a very compelling story, and very American story.
What's so compelling, Koki, about both Ben Carson and Donald Trump is it's easy for the Washington establishment or the New York establishment to say, well, this is, the yahoos like him, the crazies like him. I have more educated people coming up to me or telling me at dinner, I really like this Ben Carson guy. I want to know more about him because I think I might vote for him.
But
and it makes no sense to me. And yet these people are connected. Well, no, it makes no sense because they don't know how to go.
I have a lifelong CIA officer who was served all over the world who came to me the other day and said, I'm going to work for him as an advisor. He is the only person who speaks to me as somebody who's been out there as a practitioner of foreign policy.
Amazing.
It was absolutely fascinating.
He is one of the only, he was one of the first presidential campaign bumper stickers I've seen, a round Ben Carson sticker on a car around. Someone said it was his car. I said, I don't think so. They was driving around in the area, but I'm going to go back to what Koki said. She's right. His life story, and I asked him. I talked to him just before the first Republican presidential debate, and I said, are you doing any debate prep? He said, no, my life is my debate prep. And you laughed at that.
And
when I
Cuba
said
Gooding Jr. portrayed him in a
yes, he
movie.
did.
I mean, that's
Yes, he did.
But the point about learning something on the campaign trail is important, and anybody who has run for office knows this. And that's again a Trump problem because he's not interested in learning; he's interested in talking.